Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do my August wrap up, and I actually had a really good reading month in August, so I'm excited to share with you everything I read. I did read a wide variety of genres and a wide variety of things I liked and disliked, so I'm excited to jump right into it. I did write down some stats, so to start, I did read 10 books. I read 3,759 pages, and as you know, I always set my goal in hours, so I did read 52 hours this month, which is really good. My base minimum goal is always an hour a day, so if I would have read 30 hours, that would have met my goal, and I read 52. So like I said, I had a really good month. I've been in the mood to read all month, and I'm hoping that can, carry over until September. I have decided to share these books from my least favorite to my most favorite, so I am going to go ahead and start with the book I rated the lowest this month, which I gave it 1 star, and it was Every Breath by Nicholas Sparks. The only reason I read this is because I had decided to kind of try to reread some Nicholas Sparks, even though this is one of his newer books that I hadn't read before. I was talking to my mom about a month ago about how she used to read a lot more than she does now, and we were talking about how I read a lot of Nicholas Sparks in middle school because she used to read them, so they were in the house. So I started last month with A Walk to Remember, and I didn't rate that well. And this month I read Every Breath, and I rated this 1 star, mostly because the entire, premise of this is based on the main character, cheats on her boyfriend. So, not a fan of that. Wouldn't recommend this. I am going to still give a couple more books a try by Nicholas Sparks to see if those hold up maybe a little bit better than what I've read so far. But yeah, this one didn't work for me. Next, I read as an ebook, I read #Rev by Cambria Hebert, which is the sequel to #Junkie. And I read #Junkie maybe about a year ago, and I only gave that one 2 stars, so I'm not sure why I decided to continue with #Rev, but I didn't enjoy it. It is a male-male romance, with kind of the premise of one of the guys is a race car driver and another one of the guys is in a college fraternity. And the second book really had no plot, and it was a lot of smut, it was a lot of no plot, and what I would describe as the coming out books. They were, the first book they fell in love, this book they're coming out to everybody and showing the world their relationship, and it really just didn't work for me. Like I said, I'm not sure why I continued after not really enjoying the first, but I gave that one 1.75, I think, which I just started rating books on the Storygraph website rather than Goodreads, so I've just kind of started using the decimal rating system, so I'm enjoying it because it helps me really put my books into different categories. The next thing I read is what I just finished today. I just finished it 20 minutes ago, and it was Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and I've heard such great things about this book, and unfortunately it didn't quite hit for me. I was describing it to my husband as it took me a while to get into the writing, and then right when I was okay, I'm really liking this, and then you're about to find out a lot about why they're quarantined, why they're where they are, and then the book just ended, and I was kind of irritated. So I ended up giving that book a 2.75. Next up is my only audiobook I listened to this month, which I've been trying to get into audiobooks, but I really don't do well with them usually. But I listened to Big Friendship by Aminatou Sow and Anne Friedman, and it was for the most part enjoyable. It is a little bit easier for me to get into a nonfiction like this was. I'm just not quite sure if the message really hit for me or if these two girls, the style of their so-called big friendship was relatable to me. And for that reason, I ended up giving Big Friendship 3 stars. Then I read the 5th book in a series that I've been really enjoying getting through this year, which is the Fallen Kingdom series. I read Crystal Storm, and I actually read the first 3 books in this series back in 2017. And this year I decided to go back, read those, and actually finish. And I'm hoping to finish the final book next month in September. I'm going to try to work it into my Bookopoly TBR, but so far it hasn't fit any of the prompts. Overall, I'm really enjoying the series, and I gave the 5th installment, I think, the lowest rating so far, but I have faith in the last book to pull through and impress me, but I gave Crystal Storm 3.5 stars. Next, I have 2 books that I gave both 3.75 stars, which was What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, and Verity by Colleen Hoover. These both were really enjoyable reads for me, even though I don't think they're necessarily the best thing ever. I would put Verity over What If It's Us, because I think What If It's Us would have gotten a lower rating from me if I read it at a different time. I really wanted something quick and fluffy when I picked this up, so this did exactly that for me, but I don't think it's the best thing ever. It was cute. I would recommend this to people, but it's a cheesy YA contemporary, but it was cute. And Verity, I gave 3.75 because I do think as a thriller reader that the trope that was used at the end of this is kind of overused. But I was talking to a friend of mine who is a big fan of Colleen Hoover but doesn't read many thrillers about how I think this would be impressive to somebody who's not used to reading thrillers, and she really enjoyed this. And I do still think it was a solid book. It's a quick read. And the final 3 books, which are my top favorites, were all part of a series, which I would now consider one of my all-time favorites. It's from a favorite author of mine, and the series is the Scythe Trilogy. And I gave 5 stars, 4.75, and 5 stars, but really 5-star series. If you haven't read these, you should. I absolutely loved these, and one of my all-time favorite series before any of this, and one of the series that got me back into reading, like my sophomore year of high school, was the Unwind series. I think it's called the Unwind Dystology. But I read that in high school actually with a few friends of mine, and I actually reread that at the beginning of this year and finally got to these. And these were amazing. And it's been a long time since I've been impressed by the ending of a series, and this one really did it for me. So if you're looking for a series with a satisfying ending, this is it, and I'm so excited I finally got to these. But yeah, that's everything I read for the month of August. I hope to see you in September. If you haven't watched my September TBR, which is my Bookoplathon TBR, I am going to be doing Bookopoly all month next month, so I hope to see you there. Thanks, guys. Bye.